Hi everyone. For the next couple of weeks we're going to be talking about Euclid's Elements. This is a work that, perhaps more than any other work of the ancient world, has influenced the way that we practice mathematics in today's world. But first, we might be wondering, who is Euclid? And the truth is, we just don't know really anything about him. We know that he lived about 300 BCE in Alexandria, Egypt. But that's about it. So now you and I are the world's leading experts on Euclid's biography. Now, for the elements of Euclid, what is this? Well, this is essentially a compendium of Greek mathematics. So I guess the first thing to know is that the mathematics in the Euclid, almost none of it is original to Euclid. Okay, this is a collection of sort of known mathematical theorems and facts that Euclid has brilliantly put together in a very tight logical format. In fact, you can regard this Elements as being just a very powerful expression of the axiomatic deductive method applied to this prior Greek mathematics. So the Euclid's Elements has 13 chapters, or what they're called books, and many of them are geometrically flavored, others are sort of number theory flavored. In our investigation of Euclid, we're going to focus primarily on Book 1, which contains a lot of geometric facts that you know and love, like, for instance, congruence theorems involving triangles. The Pythagorean theorem is in there. How to bisect an angle is in there. Various things that we use quite a bit in geometry. Now, we know almost nothing about Euclid's life, and you might be wondering, how could we know so little about him but so much about the elements? Well, it turns out that the versions of the elements that we know about, that we have available to us, none of them are original to Euclid. In fact, I think the oldest sort of complete translation of Euclid's Elements dates from about 1,000 years after Euclid. And we'll learn in this week's materials that there are some older fragments of Euclid's materials, but the very oldest of those that we know about still date about 300 years or maybe more after Euclid lived. So we know about Euclid's Elements through translations. And in fact, our primary source for investigating Euclid over the next couple of weeks is going to come from yet another translation. In fact, this one is by John Casey from 1885. So this, in and of itself, is a rather important historical document, in that this translation, Casey's 1885 translation of Euclid's Elements, was intended for people like you, I believe, people who are going to become teachers. So in this translation, there are interspersed some exercises, and in fact, at the beginning of the volume, Casey talks about his purpose in compiling this translation as a resource for teachers. In fact, some of the problems that you'll be doing as exercises come directly from the problems that Casey posed in his 1885 translation of Euclid's Elements.